This is the Shotgun City Sheriff, the law himself, Clayton Clark.
This is the young titan, Aaron Atlas.
Hey, this is Matt Brannigan.
This is the war-bound hellhound, Bo Sword.
This is your favorite drunken pro wrestler, a.k.a. the Bud Light Brawler, Dalton Davis.
This is Lizzie Six.
This is Jake Something.
And this is the jaw-jacking, back-cracking, God-created all men equal, and then he made me the sequel, Rohit Raju, and you are listening to the Spot Show Podcast.
Spot Show Podcast.
The Spot Show Podcast.
The Spot Show Podcast.
Spot Show Podcast. Hell yeah.
The Spot Show Podcast.
The Spot Show Podcast? Yeah, that's right, I stuttered. Shut up.
MadBash Wrestling has a championship. I can finally say it, and I don't have to keep biting my tongue. That damn belt has been looking at me for a month, and I have not been able to talk about it, and I've known about it for way longer than that, and how the hell we kept it that much of a secret is beyond me.
But we didn't really keep it a secret.
No, we told a lot of people. We put a lot of faith in a lot of people.
And there's little Easter eggs too, man.
There are. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Spot Show Podcast, an independent wrestling podcast with a few pit stops along the way. I, of course, am one of your hosts, the Dr. Seuss of the commentary booth, the Carson Daly of professional wrestling. Dickie Wabash, joined as always by the one-legged wonder, Mr. Michael Madrox, who probably thinks that it's still technically his birthday because we're recording this in January, so he's probably going to make that whole argument.
Happy birthday, me!
But I'm shooting it down because that's a dumb little bit that he's trying to roll with. But yeah, man, we announced it. We finally announced it. For those of you that were not at EPW ReBoot or have not been on social media, let's fill you in. We officially have a MadBash Wrestling Championship.
A beautiful one at that.
It's a beautiful championship, and I said it in the ring, and it's no no jab at any championship. It's just, this is my personal feeling. It's going to become the most important title in the Midwest. I feel that way because it's just the aura around it, is like so many people are already buzzing about it. So it's like, man, eyes are on this thing right now. So
a lot of guys on social media are already claiming stake at it that have nothing to do with MadBash too.
Yeah, which, hey, don't get ahead of yourself, brother, because we're going to be talking about that because you're sitting back thinking, guys that aren't involved with MadBash, do they get a shot at the title? Well, yeah, absolutely they do. And we're going to tell you a little bit more about that as we get going down with the podcast. But before we do that, I just want to let everyone know this episode is brought to you by Yoo-Hoo and Elite Pro Wrestling. You're going to hear a little bit more about them later. Of course, you go on over to patreon.com/MadBash Studios. Back us at the $5 and above tier. You're going to get this show completely ad-free and at least 24 hours early. You're also going to get access to our post-show paid show at the $5 tier. It's essentially more Spot Show podcast, but since we're behind a paywall, we can be a little bit more open about what we're talking about. It's a lot of fun over there. Also, $5 tier, we have got, talking about MadBash Wrestling, we have got some MadBash fan cam footage of Dalton Davis versus Chris Cutler from IWA Unlimited a couple of weeks ago. Those two MadBash boys went out there and had a banger of a match, and you can check it out. It's also on IWAU's YouTube channel, but we've got fan cam footage over on the Patreon. $10 tier, we've got Big Stupid Popcorn. It's out now for this month. The Fast and the Furious. Been looking forward to that one for a very, very long time. There's tons of stuff over on the Patreon at the $5 and $10 tier, but there's also stuff for you freebies out there. Like, say you don't have the extra money. I get it. Money is sometimes hard to come by. You can still back us completely free over on Patreon. You're still going to get some really cool behind-the-scenes photos. Technically, the Patreon found out about the title before anybody else did because we posted a little preview ski for everyone over on the Patreon. But hey, that's not the only way you can support us. MadBashStudios.com. Go to your favorite podcasting platform. Give us a 5-star review, a written review. Give us a share ski with a friend that you think would enjoy what we're doing over here. Again, MadBashStudios.com. Patreon.com/MadBashStudios. So what do you think?
Man, January has been amazing to me.
Yeah. And that's the thing, is that I'm going to say me. I got that seasonal depression kicking in, brother. I just do. That's just how I am this time of year. This season just always hits me. I'm just blah.
You hit that rock after the holidays.
You hit that rock, even leading into the holidays. You know, usually around the beginning of Thanksgiving is when it hits me.
But how did it feel, man, being in that fucking ring, surrounded by all our brothers?
Point I'm making here, seasonal depression. Get out of here.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Felt good. It
felt
felt
great,
good.
man.
Now, I didn't know that they were all going to come out to the ring and eyeball that title like that, though.
I did not either, man.
Did you notice Clayton in the ring? He did not take his eyes off that title.
He was in a haze.
Yeah. And there he is, draped in gold with all of his tag belts. And he's just looking at it. And Poke even walked up and he said, hey, that looked good with these 2 belts. Then there was a couple words exchanged between Dalton and Colby, too. Cecil Cerveza had some words to say. He said, just go ahead and give me the title. You know it's mine.
Even threw out some Wabash talent agency saying that you helped him once, you'll help him again. What's that mean, Dickie?
I mean, back in the day, I did help him win the UWC Heavyweight Championship, and I'm a changed man. We're going to make the best man win on this one. Not saying Cecil's not the best man, but, you know, we're going to see what happens with this tournament. But
I knew when we debuted it that a lot of the guys in MadBash Wrestling were going to be interested in it.
Yeah.
It threw me for a loop when Logan Madrox carried it out, and Colby Jack, of all people, said, I want in that tournament.
Yeah. Colby, who's been out of the ring for 2 years, you know, we had the conversation with him here on the podcast. Go back into the archives, listen to that one. If we're lighting a fire under Colby Jack with this belt, you know, someone who's been out for a couple of years.
So be it.
So be it. And, you know, a little birdie told me that Colby's been getting some ring time. So maybe he's trying to rehab that injury and get back in the ring. You never know. But, you know, here's the thing, though. Here's how important that belt was. Dalton Davis had a banger of a match with Matt Maverick. Then he comes right back out right after to get a piece of that title just to look at it.
You talk about a banger of a match, man. That match was hard hitting.
It was. But we're going to get a little bit into EPW later, specifically the show and our thoughts on it. We're going to keep talking about this MadBash title and what exactly the plans are with it. And yeah, we're pretty stoked about it, man. This is so let's talk about the history of it. We you know, we're coming up on the 1-year anniversary of MadBash Studios. Coming up on we've been doing MadBash Wrestling since, I don't know, what would you say, about
It was April.
About April? No, we didn't do MadBash Wrestling that soon.
I had my surgery in March, man.
Did we announce MadBash Wrestling in April?
I'm pretty sure.
I don't think it was April. It might have been.
You know what? I have the internet. I can look this
yeah,
up.
it might have, dude. It was later in the summer, I'm pretty sure, is when we announced it. Because we talked about, we were, excuse me, we were pretty much in the summer of MadBash this year. We were just hitting hard with everything. But yeah, so we're sitting back and we're looking at it. We're like, man, if we're doing MadBash Wrestling, we're doing these MadBash Wrestling matches, there almost needs to be a prize for these guys to fight for, you know? So the Brain Trust, which is Michael Madrox and I, we got together, we concocted a plan, and the plan has now been seen to fruition. The belt is officially announced.
Not only the belt, we already knocked one of the bucket list off.
But what bucket list?
That we set our goals for this year.
Oh, yeah. So we can get into that, too. We are technically, it's not really going to, we don't really have the full specifics yet, but, you know, stay tuned and you'll have some info about it. We announced the Ascend the Throne tournament, which is going to be a tournament to crown the first ever MadBash champion, and we announced it at EPW ReBoot. And it's on Facebook now. The first 2 participants that are going to be in this tournament, Clayton Clydesdale Clark and Dalton Davis.
It was September the 9th, by the way.
I told you it was not April.
It seems so much closer, man.
No, dude, I think it was just that we were such a whirlwind last year that like it seemed like it was just so fast. But yeah, so the first 2 participants in the tournament, Clayton Clark and Dalton Davis. And if y'all stick around and listen to this podcast, if I feel like it, we might announce another participant.
Oh, a little exclusive on the podcast.
We might announce another participant, yeah.
I mean, it's no shock that Dalton Davis and Clayton Clark are in the tournament.
I mean, they're the 2 stalwarts of MadBash Wrestling.
They are the workhorses. Like, they're the ones out there every show saying, hey, we're MadBash Wrestling. Even Dalton's announced for MadBash Studios now.
Yeah. Yeah. They definitely, they're one of the original 5. They have put in the work. They've shown that they deserve a shot at this title. And like I said, I was in that ring with Clayton Clark, and he was eyeballing that title hard. Johnny had to tap him on the shoulder, and then he came about his senses. And if I know one thing about Clayton Clark, when he focuses on something, he goes out of his way to be sure that it does happen. So all I'm saying is that if you're matched up against Clydesdale in this tournament, look out, because he's
ready for a war.
He's going to be bringing the fight. Absolutely. But I mean, the same could be said for Dalton Davis.
Absolutely.
I mean,
even the guys we haven't announced yet, like everyone's hungry. Everyone wants this damn title.
Yeah. And don't think that we're like holding announcements back. We're still in the selection process of who exactly we want to put in this tournament, I mean, we've got the 2 solidified, and then you know what? I think we just go ahead and drop it right now.
You want to drop it right now?
Let's just drop it right now. This is a guy that when I look at what MadBash is all about, this is I see him in the ring. I see him behind the scenes. I see him in every aspect of what he does. I just look at this guy and I'm like, yeah, he deserves to be in this tournament. He deserves an opportunity. Guys, officially exclusive here on the Spot Show podcast, we are announcing the 3rd participant in the Ascend the Throne tournament, Chris Cutler.
Man.
Yeah.
Talk about a hot young gun.
I'm telling you, I think Cutler is got a bright future in this business. I think he might be a dark horse in this tournament. He's someone that, he's put in a lot of work. He's gone toe to toe with a couple of the MadBash guys so far. He's got a pinfall victory over Dalton Davis. So yeah, man, Cutler is someone that I think that y'all need to be watching.
He's definitely one of my up and coming guys in all of the Midwest right now.
Yeah. Yeah. And then to get back to my original point that I was making before this announcement, I mean, you talk about the motivation of Clayton Clark, because he's driven. He's driven. He wants to, achieve his goals, and he's always going to get in that ring and just be like, he's going to go 1,000%. He doesn't go into anything half throttled. That's Clayton Clark. Then you look at someone like Chris Cutler, who is very similar, but in a different way, of where it's like, I know I'm the young kid. I'm out here to prove that I'm better than everyone, and he's got a chip on his shoulder because of it. But then you want to talk about a chip on the shoulder. Let's talk about Dalton Davis, someone who was on this very podcast and said, I want to hold a major singles title this year. So he's looking at this and he's like, man, there's a singles title for a brand that I've practically helped build from the ground up.
What a better chip to have on your shoulder.
What a better chip to have on your shoulder, man, than to motivate you through that tournament. So, and here's the way this tournament's going to work, guys. Let's start laying this tournament down. This is exactly how this is going to go. There's going to be 6 guys in this tournament. You're probably sitting back thinking, wait a minute. The way a tournament breaks out, shouldn't there be more than that? Well, yeah, technically. But because of their contributions to MadBash Wrestling, because of their records in MadBash Wrestling, Clayton Clark and Dalton Davis will be receiving buys in the first round. They are moving directly
To round 2.
to round 2. Then, match number 1 of the first round is going to be dedicated to MadBash guys. Chris Cutler, he's already in that spot. Who's Chris Cutler's opponent going to be? Well, I can tell you this. It's someone that's going to be under the MadBash banner. I don't know who yet, but we've been talking to a lot of the guys. They're all motivated. They want that spot. They want that chance to be in this tournament to face Chris Cutler in the first round. So then, what's the other match of the first round? You guys are probably thinking. Here's what MadBash is all about. We're all about giving opportunities, paying it forward, paying it forward back to independent wrestling. We're going to pick 4 guys that are not associated with MadBash. We call them wild cards. They're going to have 2 matches, 2 singles matches. Those are qualifying matches. They win those matches, they go on to the first round.
Man,
There
I
you
like
go.
this already.
The Ascend the Throne tournament. You know, we're calling the banners here for this. We're going to war. We're gonna get the best of the best for this title. And I mean, there've been a few people that have been, you know, like we talked about it. There's a few people that have already been hitting me up and being like, I want to be in this tournament. I want to be in this tournament. They've been hitting you up, and I've seen some people trying to campaign their way into this tournament. So Dexter Roswell, we see you. You know, we'll see what happens.
But Dexter at the same time, man, come on.
All I'm saying is that we'll see what happens.
MadBash ain't about politics.
I mean, what is Mad? You know, MadBash is about paying it forward. You know, and if I think that if you think someone deserves a shot, we're going to give it to them, you know? So we're putting it out right now to all Midwest wrestlers. We're going to be picking 4 of you that are not associated with MadBash. We're going to be doing wild cards in this tournament. Let's talk. Let's figure this out.
And for anyone out there like questioning this, like no later than that post go live on Facebook, and I had 4 messages in my inbox from guys.
There you go. That's all we're saying. These spots are going to fill up quick, guys.
Within the first 2 minutes, I want in that tournament, hey, that title will look good around my waist. And like, there's guys out there like scratching at the door. Shank Barzini claims he wants it. Oliver Kane wants it.
I mean, there is a spot still open against Cutler. We'll see what happens.
I'm more excited for the wild cards in this tournament.
I am too, man. I am too. I'm ready to see some guys step up and see what they can bring to the table for MadBash. And not just for MadBash in general, just for themselves, you know?
Mm-hmm. Opportunities there, guys. Let's see who take it. Everyone wants, I want to be a MadBash boy. Here's your opportunity.
That's what we're saying. What better way to become an official MadBash boy than your first? Like, you're not even officially a MadBash boy yet, and you're already our champion. I think that's pretty much a foot in the door right there.
That's a guarantee at that point, right there, man.
That's almost a guarantee at that rate.
That's signing your name on that paycheck.
So did you think a year ago that you would be putting on a tournament for a championship that is yours?
No.
For a company that is yours?
Not at all, man.
It's crazy. You talk about the bingo card. We're always alluding to this fictitious bingo card. This wasn't even... The pencil that I used to write in the bingo card isn't even capable of writing those words last year. That, hey, you're going to have a championship, and here it is. So let's talk about the belt itself, because there's a lot going on with that belt that I don't think a lot of people realize necessarily.
Little Easter eggs and the meaning behind the shapes.
So we got the blue strap, the navy blue strap. That's a nod to one of my favorite designs, one of your favorite designs. The original Big Eagle title had a blue strap on it. People seem to forget that. The original Blue Eagle that was presented to Stone Cold Steve Austin after WrestleMania 14 has a navy blue strap on it. Ours is a little bit lighter, but it's still that navy blue. Then you look at that middle plate. Personally, that's my favorite design of a championship. The old Undisputed Championship, first held by Triple H in 2002. Then, right smack dab in the middle, we got that MadBash Wrestling logo. You all know the meaning of the logo. We've talked about it before. We got the microphone turnbuckle cross. That's to represent my past in the business because I wasn't a wrestler. I was on the microphone. I was a stick man. Then that's to represent your past in the business because you were an actual wrestler.
Yeah.
We got the cross right there. But there's a little modification to the logo that is a little bit different than what we've usually shown. There's a shield on there, and on that shield is a crown.
A blue crown.
Do you want to explain what the crown signifies?
The crown signifies where Dickie Wabash got his start in professional wrestling and where I got my big break in professional wrestling. That crown represents the Classic Wrestling Federation, CWF, based out of Terre Haute, Indiana.
Yeah. Back in 2012, when I first walked through those doors, the logo for CWF was their colors were blue, black, and white, and their logo was a crown.
And, their old slogan signifies what MadBash Wrestling is about, too. Less talk, more wrestling.
Pretty much. As we're talking into
this is MadBash Studios right now. Come on now.
Yeah, we got to distinguish between we got so many brands now. We got so many brands. Films, Mischievous Rabbit, Wrestling Studios. I love it. Love it. Let's talk about these side plates then, man.
The side plates, we got the Indiana Crossroads plates.
Yep.
Those are a homage to where I got my start, Crossroads Championship Wrestling, and also the state of Indiana because it's where we're based out of.
Never forget where you came from.
No.
I feel like a lot of guys, not just in wrestling, but just in general, a lot of people forget where they came from. And with this championship, we're showing where we came from. Did I end up having a falling out with CWF in the end? I did. But that doesn't change the fact that that's where I got my start. I'm a fiercely loyal human being. I will always give them credit for that. That's where I got my start. My first show ever was CWF. And, Crossroads, very, I don't know what the proper word would be.
That's where you
inauspicious, relationship with them. But you're the same way. You want to pay homage, but mostly it's just that Indiana seal, man. Like, this is where we are from. This is what we are. We're Indiana boys.
And then the second side plates.
Yeah, the MadBash Studios logo.
One of the greatest logos in the world today.
Well, it's pretty solid. It's pretty solid. We got to give some shout outs here. We got to give some shout outs to Terry Stedman. He designed the original MadBash Wrestling logo. MadBash Studios logo. Then he designed the MadBash Wrestling logo based off of that. And that, I'm telling you, that turnbuckle microphone, that has become like the focal point of everything that we do.
Yes.
You look at the MadBash Films logo. You look at the MadBash Wrestling logo. Mischievous Rabbit doesn't really have it. It is what it is. But
we should do a turnbuckle microphone carrot for the Mischievous Rabbit.
We absolutely could. But yeah, that turnbuckle microphone, because everyone is like, because remember Defend Indie Wrestling and it's the turnbuckle. Man, that turnbuckle microphone, like that's, when you look at that and you see that, that's MadBash.
Exactly, man. And now you can see it everywhere. T-shirts, car decals, stickers. Like, it's out there, guys.
It is. Here's another little thing that they may not know about MadBash. Madrox, Wabash. That's where MadBash comes from.
Who didn't know that?
There was someone not long ago that really didn't know
Logan.
That. It was Logan, yeah, of all people, Logan.
He was like, wait a minute.
Yeah. Oh, it was on Spot Show. Whenever he was on. Yeah, he was like, wait a minute. And I'm like, yeah, dude, we're MadBash. Capital B. Capital fucking B, dude.
Autocorrect's a bitch, brother.
Fucking proofread.
I don't proofread. I ain't got time for that. I'm too busy.
Yeah, that sounds really professional. No, like, that's the thing. Like, that annoys me so much than anything. Is like people who like don't proofread and like don't pay attention to what they're posting on social media because of it. Like, don't get me wrong. I've done a few misspellings on graphics or posts. Difference is I catch it. I'm like, oh, problem with you. I'm always catching yours. Like, I had to get on I think I said something to Clayton. I was like, capital B, because he hashtags MadBash. Shout out to the brother Jared Savage. He always capitalizes the B. Jared knows where his bread's buttered. He respects the bash.
I respect the bash, man, but autocorrect's a bitch.
But that's the thing, though, is that my phone automatically autocorrects to MadBash.
My phone doesn't. B. Like, I'll capitalize the B and everything, and then just lowercases it automatically.
Dude, mine will auto recommend or whatever. The magic recommend or whatever it's called. I don't know.
Samsung Galaxy, step your game up.
Google Pixel's where it's at, bruv. I am telling you. So yeah, definitely be on the lookout for more information about when and where this tournament is going to be taking place. And we've talked about this a lot as well. We're one of these types of people that we don't make false promises. Like, we don't just be like, oh, it's coming, man. It's coming, man.
And then it never comes.
You know, I had 3 contract offers, man, but then it didn't happen. Yeah, I'm sure you did.
They were sitting on my desk.
Yeah, they were. Yeah. I mean, we had contract negotiations, but then, this happened. Something else I wanted to say about the belt. Oh, so let's talk about random mentions of the title, because there are 2 that come to mind. One of them is the second one. You're really going to want to listen to this one. So it was either paid show or spot show. I can't remember which one, where we had Clayton and Dalton on when you were sick. And the belt was sitting to my left on the desk, and my shoulder bumped it, and it almost fell on the floor. And you hear me go, I almost dropped $230. That was the belt. The belt was sitting on
the desk.
And I almost dropped it on the floor. Which, speaking of damage to the belt, we're already taking bets on which diamond is going to fall off first. We're already placing bets on how long after the first champion has it that they'll drop it and scratch it or something. There's already a scratch on the M of champion, and I don't know where it came from.
It was fine before you left.
I don't know. I left it, and then I went on my little weekend trip to Chicago, and I came back, and I think what might have happened is
Dalton Davis or Clayton Clark broke into your house while you
were gone. No, I think what happened was, as I was getting ready, maybe my backpack sat down and scratched it or something. I don't know if I had to guess. But so we're putting out a little competition ski right now. The MadBash Championship appeared in the background of a piece of MadBash content. Not going to tell you what. I'm not going to tell you when. Not going to tell you where you can watch it. I will say it's not behind a paywall. It is public. So, it's not Coal Miner's Glove then.
Nope.
Already ruled that one out, already helping you guys out. The MadBash Championship appeared in the background of a piece of video content from MadBash.
We're going to make a game out of this?
If you can find it, this is a challenge to anyone. If you can find it, send us a screenshot, the exact timestamp, everything. You're going to win a MadBash prize pack.
Ooh.
That's going to include Mischievous Rabbit sticker, MadBash Wrestling sticker, MadBash Wrestling decal. We'll even throw in a Chase Molly Holly Mighty Molly figure. Oh, that's what I'm saying right now. We'll throw in a full base set of AEW trading cards.
That's a big prize pack, broski.
Telling you.
You feel the giving spirit, don't you?
Find that belt in the background of something that we did, and you win that prize pack.
You sure you want to do this?
Absolutely, I want to do it.
Oh, man. I see
Absolutely.
money flying out the window for these fans.
Yeah. And all I'm going to say, I've already given you one hint. It's not behind a paywall, so that rules out Coal Miner's Glove.
Dun, dun,
Could be the Coal Miner's Glove trailer, though. That's not behind a paywall. Just saying. I'm just throwing stuff out there. And go. Go find it. But yeah,
Get
man.
gone. Quit listening to the podcast right now. Go find it and take all our monies.
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, like I said, we'll throw in a MadBash Wrestling sticker, a Mischievous Rabbit sticker. We're going to throw in a MadBash Wrestling decal, your choice, red or white. We're going to throw in a Chase Mighty Molly figure and a full base set of AEW trading cards, all 100 of them.
Man.
Yeah.
Can I enter this?
I mean, it's your stuff already, technically.
I'm still going to enter.
Okay. But you know where it's at.
I know, so I'm going to win.
Yeah, unfair. Yeah, you just say it right now. Like, oh, wait a minute. It's not like I couldn't edit it out or anything. But yeah, so we're serious when it comes to this.
Can I be nice and drop him another hint?
No.
Just one.
Just one little hint.
It is not Mad Bash Goes to WrestleMania.
Okay, there's another. We're ruling something else out. Yeah. So there's two things it's not. Find the thing that it is. Like I said, send a screenshot of where it is in the frame, and we'll go.
Hell yeah, brother.
We'll go. And by the way, workers, you're not, no. There's going to be a couple workers that are going to be like, I want to enter this contest.
Why not?
But yeah, man, we're serious about this belt, dude. We're really serious about it. That's my baby. That's your baby. I'm really happy. Really happy.
Man, January last year we were just doing commentary. January this year we had more kids than the Brady Bunch.
Yeah, I know. Oh man, I don't even know where you go with that, because it's just like, yeah. I mean, that's really all you can say is just yeah. Like it's nuts. To think, like I said, my pencil's even incapable of writing it on a bingo card. So
I'm proud of you. I'm proud of us.
I'm proud of us. I'm proud of you.
Yeah. What'd I do? Just not die?
Yeah, I mean the bar is pretty low on that one if you really think about it. But yeah, man, let's we're gonna keep rolling here. We'll talk a little bit more about the title on Paid Show, I'm sure. Like we'll give little behind the scenes skis about it. Like when exactly we got it, when we designed it, stuff like that. So but before we do that, we're going to hear a word from our sponsors. This episode is brought to you by Yoo-Hoo, a product of Keurig Dr. Pepper. So here's what I want you to picture right now, right? You're on a long road trip. You're driving along and you're thinking, man, I could really go for a nice, sweet, refreshing drink. You pull into a gas station and the first thing you see is Yoo-Hoo. And I got to tell you, grabbing that Yoo-Hoo, that's going to be the right decision every single time. Yoo-Hoo is available in a variety of flavors: vanilla, strawberry, but here at MadBash, our personal favorite is chocolate. I'm going to tell you about Yoo-Hoo a little bit more, right? We absolutely love this stuff here at MadBash. We cannot get enough of it. And you know what? We're going to sweeten the pot a little bit here thanks to Yoo-Hoo. If you see us at a wrestling show and you buy a MadBash Wrestling sticker, you are entitled to one free bottle of Yoo-Hoo on MadBash Studios. Limit one per customer while supplies last. Now, come on, guys. You can't beat that deal with a stick. Again, MadBash would like to thank Yoo-Hoo so much for sponsoring this episode. This episode of the Spot Show podcast is also brought to you by Elite Pro Wrestling. Here's the thing about Elite Pro Wrestling, right? You have them to thank for the Spot Show podcast in many different ways. Elite Pro Wrestling gave MadBash Studios our first opportunity when we decided to come back into the wrestling business. So Elite Pro Wrestling is one of the OG backers. We love Elite Pro Wrestling so much. They are putting on incredible shows every single month. You should absolutely be there, whether it be in Odin, Indiana, Washington, Indiana. We would love to see you in the crowd there at Elite Pro Wrestling for every single thing that you need to know about EPW. Head on over to Elite professionalwrestling.com. There you are going to find dates, events, links, everything that you need to know about EPW. Thank you so much for being a day one sponsor, EPW. We very much appreciate it. Hey, we're back. So we were talking during the break. We're also going to throw in one of the original 10 posters.
Damn it, Dickie.
I know. We're making this a big competition ski. You know what I'm saying? So let's run it down again real quick. MadBash Wrestling sticker, MadBash Wrestling decal, Mischievous Rabbit sticker. You are also going to get a full base set of AEW cards. You are going to get a Chase Mighty Molly figure, and you are also going to get one of the original 5 posters.
And with that original 5 poster, no one has claimed the 5 autographs yet.
I know someone needs one person.
So you have a chance of actually getting this poster, winning it, getting those 5 signatures, and winning another prize.
Look at us.
Damn.
Look at us. Are you sure it's not November and it's not giving season? Thanksgiving?
It's Christmas all over again, brother.
Christmas in January. Well, February, because that's when this is going to go up. But yeah, man. So like I said, we unveiled the title at EPW ReBoot. And let's talk about that. Let's talk about the show a little bit. I've never seen Steven Mitchell more stressed out in his life because it was the first show of the year. So naturally he's running like a chicken with his head cut off. He's always, and I think that's the sign of that you care. Like whenever you're that revved up and like that worried about it, like I was just like, there's going to be minor problems that I know that are probably going to need fixed, but I'm just going to leave Steven to it. I can handle it. Like, cause we work production and stuff. Shout out to Dex Block Studios.
Always going above and beyond.
Yeah, we got some really cool photos with the title that I'm sure they'll be posting, and we'll post it. We'll repost them on our page. We filmed our pre-show, man.
The very first one.
EPW Engage.
We kind of fucked up though. Shorter than what we should have had it.
That's the thing though, is that now I get it when everyone is talking about you need to slow down out there, man. Like, well, I thought we went 12 minutes. It's like you only went 7 because it's like, that's the thing with wrestling is that it's like, oh, you go out there, go, 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 go. It just feels rushed or whatever. That show, I was told that it was only 5 minutes. No, it was more than that, but it was definitely less than 10 because Kindle Fire comes out and we do our segment and then we do a crowd segment, you and Colby, going around.
Interviewing the fans were fun. And we went balls to the wall because you should never interview kids on live television.
Yeah, we went for it.
And me and Colby had an actual blast out there interviewing the kids, and we got great answers from everyone that participated.
Yeah, we just asked them, we said, who do you think's going to win tonight, Kindle Fire or Yoder? And, man, Kindle Fire was kind of walking into some territory there because that crowd was firmly behind Yoder.
Amish country, man.
Amish country, you can't beat it. You can't beat it. But Kindle Fire did. Kindle Fire's still the EPW champion.
And a classic show of respect after that match, too.
Yeah.
I mean, you want to talk about Kindle Fire. This is Kindle Fire's first clean, slate win since winning that championship.
Yeah. I think he's going to be a fighting champion, man.
Oh, yeah.
I think he's going to be a good champion for EPW.
It was nice seeing no debauchery surrounding it for Kindle.
Let's talk about the other champions, man. We got Benny Bray, who now essentially is holding a Money in the Bank. He can cash in whenever he wants. That's exciting.
He took Jink's head off with that knee.
Yeah. Then you also got...
Who else?
2 MadBash Boys.
Oh, those guys.
Whiskey and Warrants.
Yeah.
They've been everywhere, man. I'm telling you right now. Unstoppable tag team. And I'm not just saying this because they're MadBash guys. I'm telling you this right now. Whiskey and Warrants are the best tag team in the Midwest. Bar none.
Bar none, dude.
Bar none of them.
The connection they get with the crowd is unbelievable.
They have them in the palm of their hand every time. So easy. They got the crowd to chant Moist and sing Under the Sea with them.
A remix version of Under the Sea.
Moist as could be. Moist as could be. So Clayton Clark calls me. And he's like, Dickie, I want to run an idea by you. And I was like, okay. And then he told me that they were planning on doing singing Under the Sea with the crowd. And I'm like, yeah, do that. And he was like, oh, I was doing it regardless if you told me you liked it or not. He's like, I just think it's because that's how you get under people's skin in this psychological warfare. You know what I mean?
It definitely worked.
It worked.
You got blamed for the music change.
I always do. I do it one time. You got a haircut.
Yeah.
I just realized this.
It was cut Saturday, bro.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even notice. I'm so terrible. But no, I got blamed for it. You do it once, and then all of a sudden you're a music fucker with her. Or whatever. I don't know. I didn't do it, though. It was not me. It was not me. I don't particularly know who exactly did it, but it was not me. Shout out to Burning Daylight Grill as well. They had some really good food at the show that we got to eat before. Hell yeah, man.
Sidetracked by food. You're hungry right now, ain't you?
Yeah. No, it's not that I'm hungry. It's just that I'm just thinking of more things to talk about with the show, you know?
Logan Madrox made his MadBash Wrestling debut.
Yeah, he did. We talked about it with the unveiling of the title, but Logan was the one that got to walk the belt through the curtain.
Our first referee.
Our first official referee.
Man.
Technically, technically HBJ is our first official MadBash referee. So I'm going to give Logan the second.
Yeah, that's fine.
I think HBJ, because he reffed the first MadBash match, and we specifically said, can we have HBJ ref this MadBash match? Just because of the connection that he and Dalton Davis have. They're friends. Meant a lot to Dalton Davis. We wanted to give him that, full circle.
Give him his flowers.
Yeah. But yeah, Logan was so funny all day because we were trying to figure out how we wanted to do it. Because we didn't have anything to cover it with. So we were like...
Didn't have a podium.
A
pulley system to have it ascend from the ceiling.
Kennedy.
That would have been sweet.
So we're like, what if we have Logan do it? And then we tell him, and that kid's eyes got a mile wide. I just hope I don't mess up my spot. And I'm like, Logan, all you're doing is walking the belt through the curtain. You're going to walk up the steps, hand it to me, then you can get in the ring. He was like, okay, what match? And I was like, it's after match 4. I forgot even. Jeremy Hamilton, the ring announcer, forgot. We had to remind him, hey, our segment's next. And he had this moment where he just leans on the ropes. He looks at us and goes, you're absolutely right. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get back. Which was funny. I talked to him the next day, and he was like, see, I'll tell you what happened. He said my cue cards got
switched
flipped.
Around.
He thought it was after match 5, but it was match 4. But, yeah. So after match 4, which just happened to be Dalton Davis and Matt Maverick, we got in the ring. We cut a little promo ski. And I said, here you go. This is the MadBash Wrestling Championship.
Did you, pulling behind the curtain a little bit, did you tell Logan how to carry that belt out?
No, I don't know why he did it that way.
I love the way he did it, though.
Yeah. If I was a betting man, and I'm going to get to the bottom of this, I bet Terry Hopper told him to carry it like that.
You think so?
Ollie. It was either Ollie or Terry. Because they know how to hold the belt as a referee or whatever, And if I had to guess, it was Terry or Ollie.
How proud of him are you going to be if that was just his own decision?
Even more proud. I'm proud of him because he listened. I'm just thinking about it
now.
I'm proud of him because he listened to advice. If that's scenario A. And scenario B, I'm proud of him for thinking to do that.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So, good on him. I will say, though, had a slight little panic attack as he was coming up the steps because I'm like, you dropped that fucking belt, I swear to God. So I just walked over and greeted him and I was like, give me the belt. Give me the belt. And then I took it and I held it up for everyone to see. And everyone was just like, I'll tell you what made it feel really good is that I was like, 1 year ago we came back and we got to be able to sit right over there and do commentary. Then, yeah. And then when I don't, because I had tunnel vision, I feel like the reaction when the belt came out was more of a ooh than a yeah sort of thing. The yeah came whenever I held it up and I was like, here's the MadBash Wrestling Championship.
Mm-hmm.
But that was definitely, I'm going to go on record and say that is the highlight of my career. My entire wrestling career is getting to unveil that title.
My highlight hasn't happened yet.
Are you planning? Like, you have one in mind?
I have the perfect like highlight where it's going to mean the most to me and come full fucking circle.
Can I guess that it probably involves...
I'll say it. You can guess, though.
Is it going to be Logan Madrox winning the MadBash Championship?
No.
Okay.
Fuck that kid.
Okay.
It's going to be after the first show.
Okay.
When we get in that ring and we hand over the title, celebrate, and thank everyone for coming out.
Okay. That's a good one.
It's going to be emotional, man.
I'm surprised I didn't cry when I was in the ring on Saturday. I told you and Colby at commentary, I was like, there's a good chance I
People
cry.
don't know that you're emotional as shit.
They know. We've talked about it. I wear my heart on my sleeve. I am an emotional guy. I just am.
Like when we unboxed this belt,
I cried.
we both did.
Yeah. Because that's what hard work is. Hard work pays off.
We embracing a warm hug.
We did. But yeah, we're meaning to talk about the show, but we just ended up talking about the belt again. But that was the highlight for us. I mean, it was a good show overall, but I mean, it was just like, that's what stuck out to us. And then, we get there and it was our first time being fully, and I mean, because, we've been to IWAU since November, but like to be back in a full locker room that we're familiar with,
Back in a home space.
A home space. No disrespect to IWAU. I love IWAU. That's not our homes where we feel most comfortable in a locker room is EPW and hybrid. That's just how it is. And I'm going to be having the same feeling in March when we're back in the ring with hybrid. Or back in the building, rather, with hybrid. So, yeah, man. It was just a really good feeling, back on the road. It was me, you, and Logan, and then on the way back, you rode with someone else, and it was me, HBJ, Dalton, and Logan again, and just to be back on a wrestling road weekend.
My highlight of the whole road trip was taking a new way there.
Okay. Every time that we go to Odin, Indiana, the GPS takes us an absolutely different way. I am not exaggerating. I am dead serious. Every single time, Google Maps takes us a different route. Now, it might be amalgamations of the same route every now and then, like, oh, start off on this road, then you end up on that road, but then on this way, you're on this road, then you're on that road. Like, but it's so bizarre. I've never gone somewhere and it do that way, because look, full disclosure, I mean, we've already been to Odin like 12 times now roughly, because of how many times. I still could not fucking tell you how to get there. I just can't, because it's a lot more complicated than I'm used to.
It's not one place where like you could drive once and be like, okay, here it is, because every time we drive there, it's fucking different.
That's the big part of it, because Google Maps always takes us a different way, and I don't understand why.
The person I rode home with has an iPhone, and they use the Apple Maps. Same way there, same way back.
And that's the other thing. It's always a different way back. I don't get it. I don't get it. I never will get it.
It's a great mystery.
I'm going to tell you, though, that Odin Community Center, man, that place is just, that holds a special place in my heart, though. I love that building.
I'm going to miss it if something ever happens to it, man.
Don't put that out into the ether.
I'm just saying. We've been there before with the Mecca building.
Oh, the Mecca building, man.
That one hurt.
Yeah. I remember you telling me that it burned down. So I was like, oh, man, I only worked there twice, but it was a cool.
Me too, man. But like that building, like the atmosphere and the layout, was just perfect for wrestling.
I disagree on the layout, because fans would have to go through the curtain to get to the bathroom.
Oh yeah, that's the one part.
It's the only thing I did not like about that building. But other than that, I mean, it was a gymnasium, and I mean, I love working in gymnasiums. It's just always a cool feeling.
I like the locker room where we had 2 different floors to just fuck around on, and the little crow's nest windows randomly.
And we could like walk around and go into like old classrooms because that's all it was an old school.
Halfway converted to like a museum, halfway haunted house. It was so different, man.
Dude, I just remember you pulling me and Jason V into a classroom and being like, here's your guys' pay. We're like, okay, thank you. And then you walked out and you said, hey, so-and-so, come here. Pulled them into another classroom and then gave them their pay. You were going to a different classroom each time and giving guys their pay. It was really, really, just little subtle shit like that is really, really fucking funny to me.
I had to make it interesting, man. I got to explore the whole fucking building while paying the guys as soon as they arrive. Like, that's cool as shit.
Because at the end of the day, that's really what was going on, is that you were just curious. So you were like, how can I look? Because we know we're pressed for time right now. How can I, I got to explore this building, but I also got to give the guys their pay. You know what I mean? So that's working.
That is working.
That's working right there. Yeah, man, that's one of my, I'll tell you what, though, the one building that is always going to be my building.
Can I guess?
Go ahead.
Georgetown
Community Center, brother. That's me.
That is
always going to be my building. I think every wrestler has that one building. That'd be a fun little question, Ski, to start asking people is like, what building do you consider your favorite, like your building,
What's your home?
Yeah. What about you? What would you say for you?
Oh, man. West Vigo Community Center.
That's a close second for me.
Because that's like the hometown. Knowing that we sold that fucking thing out before.
With a diaper match?
With a diaper match.
Yeah.
Like, dude, come on now. It doesn't get any better than that. And don't get me wrong. Like, we've had shitty shows, shitty turnouts and shit there. But, like, when you go through knowing that, like, hey, we sold this sumbitch out, that means a lot.
Yeah, like 350 paid. Paid. This is not counting workers that brought girlfriends and families. Like literally the count at the front of the door was like 350 paid. Now, if you want to round it up, it was probably including not paid, it was probably 4.
It had to be more than 4. All those wrestlers had kids.
450. But no, 350 roughly paid. That's big for an indie show.
We're going to top it.
Hopefully. Yeah, you mentioned that West Vigo Community Center, though, man. Like, man, by the way, people need to start putting some respect on that building because, like, it's
Quit
not
calling it fucking Terre Haute.
It's not Terre Haute. It's West Terre Haute. It is, I'm going to give it a little insight. It's actually insulting to refer to Terre Haute to West Terre Haute as Terre Haute. That's West Terre Haute. It's a different community. It's the West Vigo Community Center, West Terre Haute.
I mean, West Terre Haute is a different entity in all itself. And that community prides on the whole, like, family background and shit.
You just combined the word prides and strives to prives. Your vocabulary today is fucking atrocious.
That's fine.
Abysmal.
That's fine.
I am flabbergasted, sir. I am absolutely befuddled.
I can't use the word flabbergasted anymore.
Heretofore, you've been fine. But now it's just ludicrous. You see what I'm doing?
I see what you're doing here, Mr. Thesaurus.
Why can't you use the word flabbergasted?
Violent J ruined it for me.
Oh, okay. But yeah, man, that's just that's my little advice from a nobody right there. Is remember, it's West Terre Haute. It is not Terre Haute. It is West Terre Haute, and I take great umbrage with that because that's my hometown. That's where I'm from. Got made fun of for being from West Terre Haute, but
a lot.
We don't fucking care. We're proud. The few, the proud, the Hoshian, the West Terre Hautians.
The few, the proud, the Hoshians.
Yeah. That's a close building for me as well, but my number one's always going to be Georgetown. I'll tell you another one, and I was just talking to Dave Cavazos about this the other day at IWAU, or the other week. The Fluid Event Center in Champaign was another fun one. 0-1, the original Thursday Night Throwdown. Yeah, I was the original host of that back in the day, and that building was something special, man. That was another fun building. That was a really fun building.
What's the worst building you've ever done a show in?
Do you want the I don't give a fuck answer, or do you want the I gotta kind of be correct answer?
I want the I don't give a fuck answer, bro.
The New Wave Pro Recycling Center is the worst fucking building I've ever worked in my entire life. Terrible. Terrible building.
I'd have to agree.
Awful building.
That
Metal shavings all over the fucking floor that got your clothes dirty. Fucking all the metal that would just drain your phone battery. Fuck that building, dude. I fucking hate that building. It was fucking below zero in the winter and hot as fuck in the summer. I don't know why the renovations never happened, but goddamn, dude, that building was fucking atrocious. And the day that I heard they were no longer running shows in it, I said, good. Burn that fucking building down now.
I mean, that one's up there. I think
it's my absolute no. It's not a matter of being up there. It's the worst building I've ever been in.
Yeah, the second one for me would have to be the old IGA building in Spencer, Indiana. The ICW bought and turned into a flea market.
Not an SE. I don't know that one.
I mean, ceilings this high with a ring in it, brother. Now that's working, kid.
Did you have to hunch over in the ring?
Dude, I was on my knees. I worked a whole match on my damn knees.
I believe that.
That's where I invented the knee-high choke slam.
Oh, I forgot about the knee-high choke
Yeah.
slam. Yeah, that was actually really fucking cool. Man, you got me going through bad buildings now.
I mean, outside shows are always shit.
That's not a building.
I know, but I'm just saying we can't include any of fucking those. Bedford gym, horrible.
Never worked it.
Half the time didn't have running water. And they'd have
same for the New Wave building.
They had to protect the floor, so they have to put like this fabric thing over the baseball.
By the way, I just want
to
to get it in front of something. My opinion of that building has nothing to do with it's just the building itself. The building was fucking awful.
Yeah.
I just thrown that out there. Our opinions of these buildings have nothing to do with our opinions of the companies. It was just one of those things of where it's like, it was a terrible venue. I fucking hated it. Anyway, continue.
But the Bedford place, they had to cover the basketball court, and they would use like fucking fabric for some fucking reason. So you'd be walking to the ring, fucking sliding all over this fucking fabric in the basketball court.
Because it's like not fully.
It's not like tacked down or fucking nothing, dude.
That's awesome.
Like my first time there was a fucking like Royal Rumble style match, and we arrived to the building fucking late, so I didn't get to like go to the ring or nothing. So I just run out there and almost fucking ate shit, and I'm like, what the fuck is this shit?
Man, I don't really have many bad building experiences, to be honest with you. I don't, which is really crazy to me. I feel like I'm missing out. I'm going back to I'm just thinking of good buildings again now. Like I love the Washington Armory that we work for EPW. Strive 365 is probably one of the coolest buildings I've been in. Just the atmosphere of it is really cool.
I love how big it is too.
Yeah. Same. But from an emotional standpoint, yeah, it's always going to be the Georgetown Community Center. It's always going to be like that place. That's where I was made. That's where everything fell into place for me.
I remember taking your picture out there when we drove by it.
Good thing my back was to the camera because you would have seen tears in my eyes.
You would have.
Yeah. It was just we're just pulling into the building and Dalton goes, fun fact, that pole over there is where Travis Weir would stand with headphones in with not playing music so he could smoke cigarettes and people would leave him alone.
Shout out to Travis Weir. For some reason, he wrote happy birthday on my Facebook timeline again today.
I mean, buddy. Oh, $10. But I don't. Yeah, there's no other. Like, I'm really running through my head right now, and I'm trying to think of other really bad venues I've worked for. I can't think of any.
Eagles was kind of shitty.
Eagles was bad. I lost a blazer in that building.
Did you?
The Vincennes Eagles Lodge, yeah. For TSW. Yeah,
probably got stolen, to be honest.
Honestly, yeah. Fun fact, that same building is where Stephen Mitchell taught me how to, like, if your tie is all fucked up and, like, the back part is, like,
Hangs
too
down too
long,
low.
just tuck it in your shirt. It's the best advice Stephen Mitchell ever gave me. But I'm joking, of course. But Yeah, man, I think I'm pretty fortunate in that aspect of it. Oh my God. Do you remember when we worked at that nursing home?
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah, and we had to get dressed in the rooms and had to walk out.
And
that
it
was
stunk.
Oh, it was just smelled like old people.
We had our own nursing room too.
We did. We walked in and we jokingly said, "This is the CWF locker room," and a guy got up and walked out. I forgot about that one.
We used to do that shit all the time at TSW.
Oh my God. Man, I'm just running through every venue I've ever worked in, man. There was a building that we worked in. It was a bar in Wisconsin, and it was like the ring was in the courtyard of the bar, but we got dressed like down in the basement of the bar. So we'd have to come up the stairs, walk through the bar, but that's outdoor.
Yeah. I mean, Willie Jack's was a good bar setup.
Dude, I never got to go to a CCW Willie Jack show.
Really?
Never did.
So you're just a legacy kid.
Yeah. Oh, the venue. The venue was like right in the middle. The venue was like right in the middle of a good building, or it just depended on the time of year, if it was a good building or a bad building, because the venue had no central air either. And that was the building I've worked my first ever show in, was the venue here in Terre Haute.
I had a lot of memories of that building.
Yeah, that's where CWF ran for the majority of its existence. That's where CCW would run. It's where New Wave got its start, and that's where Dickie Wabash got his start. That was the building I first ever worked in. Was the venue, as we lovingly called it. But again, that was another one where it really depended on the time of year if that building was tolerable or not.
I mean, your first show, we had the garage doors open on the side just to get some airflow in there.
Yeah. And that was a small... Dude, why was the CWF ring 18?
Yeah.
So how it fit in that building, I will never understand.
All the way up against the stage, all the way up against both walls, man.
That's pretty much how it had to be. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it just... I don't know why I said...
Those old CWS shows on the side of that building, though, they were like underground fight feel, though. I loved it.
Yeah. And then like when New Wave first started, they had that 14-foot ring, and it was like perfect size for it. Like, that era of wrestling was so fun for me, because it was just like, you talk about that underground fight feel. That's what original New Wave Pro felt like. Was like an underground, like what we're doing in here, like people, it's hush hush, secret, we don't talk about Fight Club sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
It was cool. It was really cool.
Fun fact.
Yeah.
You know the baby ring shit?
Yeah.
I got blamed for starting that when I had nothing to do with it.
Oliver was the one that got blamed for it, I thought.
I got blamed for it too.
Yeah. So, those of you that don't know, New Wave Pro, the detractors would call it a baby ring. Baby ring, baby ring. And I don't know I never did figure out who started it, but I know you got blamed for it, and so did Oliver Kane.
I know.
Oliver Kane gets blamed for everything.
He's a dick.
I love Oliver Kane. You're wearing your Oliver Kane t-shirt right now.
I just ordered a second one from him,
Wrestling is my side chick.
Ordered a Logan one, too.
Wrestling is my side chick?
Yeah.
I didn't know he was making another run.
Yeah, group chat, brother.
I missed that part. I missed it. But yeah, man, what a fun little convo we had here on this Podski. Got to talk about our past, talk about our present, and our future. Josh Ambition, backyard wrestler extraordinaire. We're going to go ahead and start wrapping up here, guys. But again, thank you so much. Let's get to the sentimental part of it now. Let's get to the sentimental part.
We're going to the Super 8.
Yeah. We're okay. If it was not for you guys, if it was not for you listeners, for you supporters on Patreon, every person that has bought something from us from a merch table, every promoter that has believed in us, the MadBash Wrestling Championship would not be a thing. No. We owe it to you guys. I don't want to say that it's the People's Championship, because that just feels too bland and generic to me, but this is a belt for you guys, by you guys, and we hope that we can do right by you guys with this championship, with this tournament. Stick around. The Ascend to the Throne tournament is coming. We will have more details as they become available. You can stay tuned on all the up-to-date info. Facebook.com/MadBash Studios, MadBashStudios.com. Pay attention to it here on the Patreon, patreon.com/MadBash Studios. Pay attention to it on the podcast, all of that. Just stay up to date with us, guys. I promise you this is going to be something that you're going to want to stay glued to, because there's going to be a lot of news dropping probably in the next month or so about what's going to be happening with this tournament, when, where, who, what, how, when, and why. All that. So, yeah, you can find me on Instagram at DW_mischievous_rabbit. Madrox isn't really on social media. But for those of you on the Patreon, we're getting $5 here. We're getting ready to roll into paid show. We're going to talk a little bit about some pet peeves that we have with the wrestling business on this one. We're also going to talk a little bit behind the scenes with the belt. Probably I plan on doing it. So, yeah. We'll see you guys on Paid Ski.